Okay, everybody, it is 10:45 a.m. on Saturday, October 8th. This is the Libertarian Party of Indiana State Central Committee meeting. I call this meeting to order on our agenda, which is online on our website. Madam Secretary, if you would like to go ahead and call the roll, please.
All right. Sorry, double checking that. Okay. Chair Evan.
Present.
Lucy Brenton, Vice Chair.
Not here.
Secretary, I'm here. Treasurer Michael Schultes.
Michael is also absent. I have messaged both of them asking them where they are.
Communications Director Michelle. Yeah, okay. Tech Director Chuck.
Chuck is on vacation and will not be here.
I should be on vacation.
I'll be back on the 16th, I believe.
Yeah, it's fall break for us. Let's see. Field Director Morgan Rigg.
Present.
Political Director, I do not have the new interim one.
There's not an interim one, there's a deputy. Chris.
Deputy. That's right.
Still the political director for now.
Okay, just for the political director. Okay, Chris Galt.
Present.
Yay. District 1, John.
Present.
District 2, Elizabeth.
Present.
District 3, Christy.
Here.
District 4, Dennis.
Here.
Oh, you are here. Okay. District 5, Greg Noland.
Present.
District 6, Luke.
I'm here.
District 7, Kent.
Present.
District 8, Jay.
Present.
District 9, Greg.
Here.
Do we have guests?
The record should reflect that Assistant Secretary Clayton Soltz is here as a non-voting board member, and that Deputy Political Director Paul Copeland is absent. And there are no other guests at this time. So I believe I have that as 13 present. Is that correct?
Hang on 1 second. I didn't. Okay, Luke, I have online, but I didn't hear him say he was present. Sorry. I was
Yes, I'm
double
here.
checking. Sorry. It may have cut out. Going back and forth is hard. Okay, let me double check my count real quick. Yes, I have 13 present.
Okay, and we'll let you know if any other board members or visitors join the chat or join the session. Adoption of the agenda. I did receive in writing prior to the meeting starting. Mr. Greg Hirsch requested that we add 5 minutes under new business for a request from Tanya Millis for Congress campaign. Is there any objection to adding that to new business? Hearing none, that is added at the bottom of new business for 5 minutes. Are there any other amendments to the agenda as presented? Okay, hearing none, is there any objection to the agenda as amended? Hearing none, the agenda is adopted. Mr. Rigg, can you be the timekeeper, please?
I can.
Which means I'll need to see you so you can visually alert me. Thank you. All right. I'm going to give a chair's report. I got a lot to put in here today. First, I want to thank Christy Avery for being the very first person to get her district report turned in, and she actually did it on the day that it was due. Morgan, Mr. Williams, and Mr. Schick all turned theirs in as well. Mr. Schick was the super late one, turning in his today just prior to the meeting starting. But thank you guys for doing that. In the past month, I've been working with James Siniak on debate prep. That's going really, really well. I'm looking forward to his debate, which is on Sunday, October 16th. And the Marion County Party has partnered with the state party to host a debate watch party. You will receive an email about that. All the members will receive an email about that tomorrow morning at, I believe, 9:30. It's also listed on our Facebook page for the details. It starts at 6 p.m. If you did not catch the Indy Star article about James, it was in the online edition. It was an amazing piece that followed him as he works with children with special needs, talked to his friends growing up. It was an amazing piece. They did great. And it is a very interesting contrast to the one they did on McDermott, the Democrat in that race, because the headline for that one called him McDermott, the Democrat Trump, which is pretty much how everybody describes McDermott. So it was a very good piece. James is doing great. I know they're out. I think they're going to Riley Days, and they're all over the state right now. The Jeff Moore campaign, I've been assisting them with their radio ads and advising their campaign on a daily, sometimes hourly basis. They have Jeff has a debate on Monday, October 10th. Please check the corrected email that members got for the correct date. There will also be a watch party, also hosted by the state party and the Marion County party. And it will be at the same location and the same time, just different dates as the Siniak debate watch party. On Monday, I will be speaking to political science students at University of Indianapolis. So that's great. Looking forward to that. I will also be on Rob Kendall's show later that day. I'm recording before my thing at U of I, but it will broadcast later that day, talking about Jeff and James and their campaigns. The CRM Mosaico, the email template thing that I've been talking about for over a year. I truly believe that this time we may have it within the next week to 2 weeks. I got to see it working, and they just need to turn it on for each of the states. So I'm really excited for that. I'm probably going to create a training video as opposed to doing one-on-one trainings for it. That way you guys can watch it at your leisure. I want to give a special shout out to our second district candidate, Will Henry. And I know Liz Coquillard is going to talk more about it, but I just want to say he did an amazing job in the debate. I love the fact that the Democrat continued to agree with Will, and Will held it in and didn't agree with him. So good job. Candidate spotlight, sending out emails to all of our candidates. We have 37 candidates on the ballot, asking them to please submit information to us, a headshot, a photo of them campaigning, what their campaign is about, a donation link, all of their links to their website, social media, and how they would like help. We are going to be highlighting those candidates via email, Facebook, and Twitter. So please remind your local candidates to check that email and send it back to us so that we can get them highlighted to all of our contacts. We sent out one email for James Siniak on the billboards, and it was received by 5,000 people and was opened on the first day by 1,600 people. And it had something like 800 click-throughs to their donate page. And I know that within the first couple of hours, they raised $700. So please, please, please have them email me that information. They should have an email with all the details. Have them respond to it. Thank you. Finance reports. All of the candidates, all of the county chairs and treasurers received information about their campaign finance reports being due. They are due on the 21st for most of our candidates. Statewide candidates are a little bit different, and our federal candidates are completely different. Theirs is October 15th. But the deadline is, I believe, October 21st. The reporting periods ends October 14th. And again, it's a little different for statewide candidates, but they've all been talked to individually. Please, please, please get those filed on time. I do not want to go back to the election board and beg for you to have your fines waived. And for some of you, you will not be allowed to have your fines waived because you just had them waived. So I'm asking our district reps to please communicate with your local candidates and county chairs to make sure that they get them in on time. I have done my part. I have literally called people and sent emails, and I can tell you that only half of them, less than half of them, have read those emails or responded to the phone calls. So please, please, please do that. The newsletter will be starting up. We will have a first edition of it coming in January. It is guaranteed. Please submit a district report that is 200 to 300 words. If it doesn't get received by December 10th, your picture and your title will be on there as a district rep and a director, and it will say no report submitted. Just FYI. So I'm going to shame you. Triple member payments to the counties. We did not get them out in September or October, but I'm working with Michael to get that done ASAP. Some numbers to throw at you real quick before I take questions. Our current membership count is 540 state party members. That includes 235 triple members and 103 1994 society members. We are down on the 94 society members. We've lost another 7 1994 society members since our last meeting. Money. In September, we ended up raising $3,031.83 in contributions. Compared to September of 2021, that is an $1,100 decrease. Just an FYI on that. So far this month in October, from the 1st to today, we have raised $1,418.65. The same period last year, we raised $732. So we're almost double where we were this time last year. I will speak for Mr. Schulteis and let you know that we have approximately $41,000 across all of our accounts. I have been focusing my efforts on fundraising for our candidates this year. But still, that's still fairly impressive. That's typically a little bit more than we have cash in the bank this time of year anyway. So with that, any questions? Ms. Avery.
The email that you sent out for candidate information, does that include nonpartisan school board candidates as well?
Yes, it does, because there are brothers and sisters anyway. Mr. Nolan.
Do we have a booth at Riley Days?
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
Mr. Lomax is actually waiting for us to finish so that he can get back to it. He is sitting in the parking lot right now. Any other questions? Okay, hearing none, moving on to the secretary's report. Madam Secretary.
I sent the minutes out this morning. I meant to send them out last night, but I wasn't near my computer, so. Any questions?
I read them. They seemed accurate. I did check to make sure Christie's name was spelled right.
I
Usually-
just submitted one correction that it said something about certain people appearing via Zoom. Well, we were all via Zoom.
It's probably cut and paste. That's why. I'll just fix it. Usually do the roll call real quick. Yeah, that makes sense.
Are there any other corrections that anybody noticed? Okay, I would entertain a motion to accept the minutes from our previous meeting of September 17th as amended.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Lomax, seconded by Mr. Rigg. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Okay. Those minutes are adopted. Do you have anything else, Madam Secretary?
No, not unless you have anything.
I'm gonna give a minute then, since we have time, to Mr. Schultz. Do you have any comments, Mr. Schultz, as the Assistant Secretary? Or as I like to call, the Ass Sec?
No, I'm just glad that I have my emails all set up, and thanks for having me here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Schultz. The next on the agenda is the treasurer's report. He is not here. I do know that we have 40, like I said, a little over 41,000 in the bank across all of our accounts. And I don't believe we have any outstanding large expenses at this time. From my memory, I don't think we have anything additional. I think that was what he said last time too. I don't necessarily want to give them a shout out, but there were two people that did increase their monthly contribution by around $100 per person when they heard about the shortfall that we were having. I just don't feel it appropriate for me to name them in such a manner. But I would like to say, you know who you are, and I appreciate you and thank you. Any questions that I might be able to answer on behalf of the treasurer? Or
Where
that
are
I
we
can-
on expenditures for the convention?
We don't have any as of right now, but that would be a question for the convention committee, which is later under old business. That would be
sorry.
that would be best. But so far, the only expense that we have is the venue, which is the only thing we paid on that, I believe, is the $500 deposit. I would know because I'm the one that has to sign whatever they end up doing. So let's see. Okay.
I have a question real quick for
Mr. Lomax, go ahead.
whoever can answer it. Do we have a total of the amount that we have spent as a state party on candidate campaigns and events?
No.
Okay.
But I think we're probably close to that 10 grand now. Or close to it. We're definitely at least over 5 grand.
Yeah, I was asking because I didn't know if we needed to maybe allocate more money before the next meeting, since the elections are going to happen relatively soon.
I think what I'll do is, if there's a specific request from a campaign, I've got a couple of things on the agenda right now. If there are additional requests from a candidate or from an affiliate, then I'll just send it out as an email and ask that everybody please not wait the 7 days to get it done. But I don't think we need to increase the candidate line item. I think we can just, as a board, decide if there's something that we want to support or not support. Does that make sense, Mr. Lomax?
Yes, it does. Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions for me to proxy answer for the treasurer? Okay, hearing none. The vice chair is not here, and I have no idea what her report would be. So I'm just going to skip it if there's no objection to skipping the vice chair's report. Okay, hearing none. Communications, I'm going to speak for Ms. Holliday. She's still getting herself set up in her new job, but she has been in communication with me, and she does still want to be active. I know that she's been involved with some of the campaigns on helping them with press releases, and just their general communications, their emails to their subscribers. Once she gets more settled in to her new position and new role, she will be coming back to help me do more of the statewide and localized press releases. Please do remember, send your press releases that you would like to be sent out to media@lpin.vote. That's media@lpin.vote, and those will be sent out by the comms team. Please indicate if it is statewide or local, and if it is local, please let us know where you would like it to be sent to, what area, what region. You don't have to tell us what papers or media contacts, but what areas. And it needs to be in a press release format. So bear that in mind. Any questions about comms?
is there a general template for press release format?
Yes, if you need one, I request that you individually send me an email requesting it so that I can remember to send it to you.
Okay.
Mr. Saltz.
Are those press releases for candidates only, or would county parties be able to use that as well?
Counties, individual candidates, whoever and whatever, we have the system, and we can brand it to look for the candidate, look like it's coming from the candidates or the county parties or the district. They do need to send us this stuff like the banner logo, their contact info and all of that. But yes. Oh, look, Mr. Schulteis is in the lobby. I should make him sit there. Okay, moving on to political director, Mr. Galt. You have the floor, sir.
Yes, awesome. So I want to give an update on the Get Out the Vote events. So far this year, we've had over 80 attendees across the state, 80 volunteers. 17 candidates across the state have been trained in e-canvasser and door knocking. We just passed this week, we just passed 4,000 door knocks logged as a state party, or as a state in general across the whole state. Kristen, Alexander, and Danny Lundy are #1 right now with most doors knocked at 1,000 doors combined between the two of them. This is, I believe, the last meeting before Election Day. So, a lot of candidates need our help. The next event I know of is the Candidates at the Creek on October 14th in Martinsville at the Cedar Creek Winery. Jeff, James, Kristen, Danny, Anna, Evan, and Rainwater will be there speaking to voters. If you guys don't know, Jeff was in Martinsville this week at the Fall Festival, and that booth was packed. I believe they gave out over 750 rat cards in one day. That's what I was told. Three stacks of rat cards. That's $250 each. Martinsville is Rainwater did really well there last election. It's a really, really strong area for us. So I think that event will have a really good response, and it'll be fun because it's at a winery. So check that out. It's on Facebook. It's on our website, October 14th. Speaking of candidates needing our help, I am the campaign manager for Tanya's campaign, and Tanya's response from voters this year has been, even more aggressive than last time around. And she got almost 5% last time, being #1 for congressional campaigns. So, we've had so many people contacting her campaign, requesting signs and wanting to volunteer. So I know a lot of you guys saw my post earlier this week because we needed some money for rat cards because, well, we've had so many volunteers that we're giving them all away. So we were able to raise that money. So thank you. And thank you to the members for being generous and helping us keep our volunteers working. But she still does need some money for signs to get to all the polling places in her 18 counties. So I know that's at the end of the meeting on the agenda for Greg, but I just, as the campaign manager, I just wanted to give you guys the facts on how that was going. And if the board decides to vote on anything related to Tanya, I will recuse myself. And that's the end of my report.
All right, any questions for Mr. Galt? Okay, hearing none. Mr. Rigg, your field report, please.
I only have one thing to report. Since our last meeting, we had one person who signed up as a volunteer. I got into touch with him, and I've kept him up to date on upcoming events in his area. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rigg. Any questions for the field director, Mr. Rigg? Okay, hearing none. IT director, Chuck. Oh, you're not here. Oh, there's Lucy. I think it says driving. We'll find out if that's Lucy. Hold on. So the briefly IT report, the National Party is working towards migrating to Razor's Edge. That's going better than anticipated. They're slightly ahead of schedule right now. I've been working with them every week to fix a few things. And I'm gonna mute you, Lucy. To fix a few things on the CRM, and we've gotten quite a bit taken care of, and some new kind of features to help us search for things and do stuff a little bit easier. We're also eventually, I'm going to be asking, we authorize $200 a month to the National Party for the CRM, specifically to be earmarked for the CRM. I've been informed that that money will not go to the CRM. It will go to the general fund. So instead, our plan is if we would like to crowdsource things to be completed, hiring a developer to fix something, that is where our money will end up going to, as opposed to the general fund. I'm very disappointed in that information and that news. It actually upsets me greatly. So we were trying to find another way to get money towards the CRM to support it from the state party, as we intended to do. So I will keep you advised on that, and I will be coming back once that happens and asking for a new authorization, because the previous authorization was to give it to the national as an earmarked CRM budget. So just bear that in mind. It probably won't happen until December or January because they don't anticipate being done with the Razor's Edge migration until the first week in November. And that is their focus, 100%. So any questions about IT? I would like to thank Mr. Noland for eventually meeting with me this week to go over some training on how to send emails out. Thank you for participating in that. And now that system is going to completely change here in about a week. So congratulations. With that, we would move on to the next subject, but I am going to ask the indulgence of the body to add an item to the agenda after Tanya Millis. I would like 5 minutes to discuss the world's smallest political quiz cards for 5 minutes. Is there any objection to that? Okay, hearing no objection, we'll add world's smallest political quiz under new business for 5 minutes at the end. New biz, 5 minutes. Okay, next on the agenda is the LNC update. I really don't have anything, and Mr. Nana is not here. And I don't really have, I've been trying to not pay attention to a lot of that, even though there are several people who like to send me messages about things that are going on and happening. And did I see this? Did I see that? Pro tip, I don't care. If it's not about Indiana, I just don't care. So I know it's garbage, the thing that you're sending me and that you're upset about. I get it. If you want to tell me that you're upset, that's perfectly okay. If you're just wanting to see if I'll join you in your outrage, I'm busy working in Indiana. So maybe we can be angry about it around Christmas. And I will join you in that. Any questions about the LNC? Hearing none, we'll move on. Reports from districts. District 1, Mr. Schick. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, well, here in Porter County, we held our regular meeting on September 19th. And tonight we're going to be participating in a candidate meet and greet that's being held by a group in Valparaiso. Mike Teleski will be representing Jeff Maurer in that, and I'll be representing myself. And so anyway, that's going on this evening. The LaPorte County, they've got their next regular meeting on October 13th, which I plan to attend. The Lake County, they do not appear to be having any regular meetings, although I'm checking right now to make sure that they're filing their campaign finance. They told me they were, but I'm just want to check and make sure that's being done. As a quick aside, I'm the treasurer for the Porter County Libertarian Party, and I got a note back from the state that I can't be a treasurer of a county affiliate and my own campaign at the same time. So I'm in the middle of getting someone else to be my treasurer for my auditor of state campaign, because apparently I can't do both. Let's see. I think that's it. Since the last meeting, I did pick up the tent from Liz for District 1, so that tent is now in my garage. And nothing else to report. Any questions?
Mr. Schick, I would reach out to Mr. Schulteis and ask him if he could be the treasurer for your campaign committee, because he's not busy.
Well, I
And-
can get, my
Yeah.
son will do it. He's a libertarian.
Oh,
and
okay, okay,
That's
perfect.
finding the person isn't the problem. It's figuring out how to, because this with the state finance, you've got to submit it online.
Yep.
And it's not for the county. It's just a matter of filling out an extra line on the form saying that you've got a new treasurer. But with the state, I got to figure out. I'm hoping to figure that out on Monday. How to get a different user ID for my son to be my treasurer, because my user ID is assigned to me. And
I believe you have to file a CFA 3. And it may be a CFA 1 amended. Nope, it would be the 3. And then you should get, and you can email that to the election division. We could talk later about doing
Okay.
that. We can make sure that you get everything set up. I will not be available Monday. So Tuesday, we can get those emails sent out.
okay,
with-
if I haven't figured it out by myself on Monday, I'll loop you in on Tuesday.
Okay, perfect.
Thank
Any
you.
other questions for Mr. Schick? All right. Moving on, District 2, Ms. Coquillard. I'm sure you have some interesting things to report.
Oh, I got lots. Okay, starting September 24th, we had the Get Out the Vote in Warsaw. We had 15 volunteers, 7 candidates, 626 doors knocked, and 220 conversations with voters. Warsaw is flooded with LPIN signs. 6 of our candidates have more signs out there than their opponents. Most of our candidates need more money for their campaign to bring it home in November. Please consider donating to Dugan Julian for trustee, Cassie Rowland for township board, David Lewis for county council, Josh Vergils for state house, and William Henry for U.S. House. On October 22nd, St. Joseph County is having, I've got them out of order. Okay, October Tuesday, the 4th, William Henry debated his Democratic opponent, Paul Sturry, televised live on all of our local channels. He did an amazing job at representing the LPIN and our principles. You can catch a replay of the debate by going to William Henry for U.S. House on Facebook or WSBT, WNDU, or Fox 57 websites, but we're very, very proud of his performance. Last night, Jeff Marr joined District 2 and its candidates at our final First Friday of the year. We had scary political decorations and wore costumes, and the community loved it. Our candidates were also given the opportunity to be interviewed live on 101 FM, and we were approached by a well-known local political writer for candidate interviews. He seemed really excited about our success in the last 2 years in the community, and even said, "We've already surpassed the Democrats in political influence. Hashtag it's happening." Today, volunteers are at the Serving Time with Travis McConnell Chili Cook-Off. Proceeds go to benefit Indiana Normal and Bikers Against Predators, a local group that goes after online predators with a great success in participation with law enforcement. October 22nd, St. Joseph County is having their organizing convention at 10:30 at the North Liberty Library in North Liberty. Please come out and support our district's new affiliate. And Tuesday, October 25th at 4 p.m., Josh Vergils and David Lewis will participate in debates with their Republican and Democrat opponents. I imagine that both of them are going to debate our candidates. And then lastly, District 2 will be having our election night watch party. Details will be soon. Check out Kosciuszko, Elkhart, or St. Joseph County Facebook pages for that event. And I think that's all I've got.
All right, any questions for Ms. Coquillard? Okay, District 3, Ms. Avery.
All right, Randolph County today is having a Mardi Gras festival. That's a big event there, I guess, and Jeff Moore is appearing there, so that should be a good event. A few Allen County members and I attended Jeff speaking to a class at PFW yesterday, and talking to Vice Chair Adam Newmeyer afterwards. We were thinking about maybe doing a flyer drop around the campus at some point in the future, because I think they have public billboards or bulletin boards where we can post things up. So we might try that and see if we get any traction from that. Noble County, I noticed that our temp chair has suddenly reappeared. So I reached out to him and he's interested in getting the county affiliated. So I sent out an email to our contacts through the CRM. I haven't really heard anything back yet, but it's good that he's alive and around and still interested in getting things going. I got the email about distributing signs for the Jeff Moore campaign, so I've been working on that. And I actually ran into a friend that needed signs in Henry County, so I passed those signs off, plus some to his dad in Rush County. You're welcome, Luke Lomax. I think that's it. Any questions?
No, I saw your email that went out in Noble County. The only thing that's missing is in the campaign slot. On when you're doing the email, there's a spot that says campaign. You would type in IN Noble so that it tags it as being for the Noble County. Or, if it's just a district wide thing, or if it's something for the state party, you would do IN state or IN third district, third 3 RD. Just so please make sure to use those. That way we can kind of track what the messaging is targeting. But I was very happy to see that email go out. Any questions for Miss Avery? Okay, hearing none. District 4, Mr. Beatty.
So other than the information on Morgan County that Chris already provided. There's been a lot of work there.
I can barely hear you, Mr. Beatty.
All right, is this better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so Chris Galt was able to provide information on what's going on in Morgan County. I think they're doing a lot of good work over there and spend a lot of time on that. Otherwise, that's all I have to report at this time.
Okay, any questions for Mr. Beatty? Okay, District 5, Mr. Nolan.
I believe Hamilton County is having a door knocking thing as we talk right now. We also had Jonesboro Days or Raleigh in Grant County. Clayton did an excellent job of organizing it. And Clayton, if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and finish that report.
Yeah, we had both Jeff Moore and James Seniak come out for several hours on Saturday. Donald Rainwater's daughter gave out over 300 suckers. We got over 20 names and addresses, mostly Grant County people, but also some people from around the state. So you might be getting an email from me if I got someone from your district, some information. It was mostly just addresses. Also, we used the political quiz, but we also had a new game that we played, the Where Are Your Taxes Going Plinko game. It's nice and colorful that my sister made for us, and that especially draws the eyes of kids. So a lot of times kids would walk by, say, "Mommy, what's that? I want to play." And then I'd tell the kids, like, remember, kids, just because you think you know where your taxes are going doesn't always end up where it's going. And then the parents, they relate, and I say, hey, do you want a pop? You want a water? Give me your address and you can get one and play the game. And that's how we get conversations going. So that went over very well, I think.
I really liked what I saw. I thought it was really cool. And I actually was talking to a friend of mine about helping me build a bunch of those so that we can donate them to the highly active county parties for free. So it was a great idea that I had with this Planko style thing where you guess where your taxes are going. It's a brilliant idea. I can't wait to unveil it to you all. Thanks.
I'm so glad you're our chair.
Thank God this is recorded.
Any questions for Fifth District?
Thank you, Clayton. Does anybody else have any questions for the Fifth District? Thank you, guys.
All right.
And shout out to Christy Avery for letting us borrow her tent since ours wasn't ready yet. So thank you, Christy.
District 6, Mr. Lomax.
So the Hancock County Party is currently at Riley Days, hosting a booth. Thank you to the state party for providing some discretionary funding to help us pay for the booth space, split it halfway. We are expecting some more money to come through to multiple counties in the 6th district from the triple membership payments that are coming from the last 3 months. I believe we've had 4 or 5, 2 months. Okay. I believe we've had 4 or 5 new ones in the last 2 months between Johnson County, Rush County, Hancock, Shelby, and Henry. So I've got one of my new members is actually volunteering at the booth right now in Hancock County. So that's fantastic to see that. He took his 1 day off of work this week from being a truck driver across multiple states to come to the Riley Days Festival and sit at our booth and do the world's smallest political quiz. So shout out to the Morgan County Party and Danny Lundy. I stopped by his booth night before last to get some of the event kits that he sells for $40 a piece, not to pimp him out or anything, but they are very handy. They are very nice. The stickers are porcupine stickers and they work perfectly on your world's smallest political quiz board. So I haven't really had a lot of time to coordinate with the other counties. I know that Henry and Rush are pretty self-sufficient. Matt down in Johnson keeps me updated on meetings and I'm still trying to make it out to one of those. And then Jake in Shelby County is fantastic. He's very willing and ready. He just doesn't have the membership yet to man a booth. And with all of the fall foliage and fall festival stuff going on in Hancock County, I've been concentrating on that most of the time. So that's it for District 6. If anybody has any questions, feel free to ask.
Any questions for Mr. Lomax? Okay, hearing none. District 7, Mr. Williams.
Hi, thanks, Evan. Can everyone hear me all right? Okay. As Evan mentioned, we will be hosting Libertarian Party Marion County will be co-hosting debate viewing parties on the 10th and 16th of this month, both at Ralston's on Mass Avenue. Additionally, toward the end of the month, on the 29th, we will be at the historic Irvington Halloween Festival. We'll be passing out candy, but we'll also be passing out slime for the kids and campaign literature. And we'll also be having a raffle for a $100 Visa gift card. So look for us there. Sorry about the noise. And let's see, our service Saturday is going to be November. The plan is, at this point, we're looking at November 12th. I know that's the same day as District 6, but our plan is to distribute personal pizzas to homeless downtown in Indy. We might be partnering with another organization for that, but we have to confirm. Haven't reached, well, we're reaching out to them. All right, so if anyone has any questions, just let me know.
A couple of things. There was a recent ordinance passed in Indianapolis banning giving people, providing food to people on the street. It's a $500 fine.
Right.
I would encourage you to violate it and for us to put out a press release of you violating it and get pictures of you violating it.
Yes.
I will be happy to pay the fine if you get fined, and then we will ask Mark Rutherford to help you sue the city for it. And shout out to the city of Indianapolis. We're totally going to violate it. Thanks.
I'll come get arrested with you.
Well, I don't think we'll get arrested.
You won't get arrested. You just get fined.
We'll just get-
Also, Mr. Williams, I will be at the Irvington Halloween. I'm not going to sign up as a volunteer because I don't know when or how long I'll be there because there's a couple other events that day, but I will be there. Are you guys wearing costumes at the booth?
I had not planned on it. We had not planned on it. That's
Okay,
an
that's good to
idea.
know, because I was going to come in one, but now I won't.
Well, I mean, you're welcome to come in one.
I'm not going to be the only one. I'm not going to be the only person at the costume party wearing a costume. All right. Any questions for Mr. Williams? Okay, hearing none. Moving on to District 8, Mr. Solomon.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. District 8 is still all eyes focused on the election. So speaking to the Jada Burton campaign, the one in which I am the most familiar, we just sent out a mailer with data received from Mr. Lundy. We're hitting about 1,000 likely voters. Hitting all RVs in the district was out of our price range, but if we can fundraise enough for that, we will send out another mailer and hit every voter in District 77. In Robb Township, Posey County, Derek Vogel's still in a one-on-one race with his late entry opponent. It's a small township, goes well. Mr. Vogel has been a volunteer on the Robb Township Fire Department for many, many years. Has a lot of name recognition. So waiting with bated breath with how that goes. He has a lot of good ideas that are very palatable to the people there about what he would like to see move forward in Robb Township. Moving up to Owen County, they've just been on fire. I love shouting them out. They are superstars. Both Rachel Combs and Chad Van Ryn have been talking to a lot of voters. There's a lot of discontent up there with the county status quo. I'm looking forward to big things in November. Other than that, starting to talk to people about municipal races next year. People that volunteered on these campaigns ready to make a change of their own, but still a little too early to call out anything there. In the good old town of Darmstadt, where I sit on the town board, I've kind of made a mark for the Libertarians as the people that know how election law works. So I get asked a lot of election related questions and give positive feedback that makes people happy. As many of you know, I will not be seeking re-election next year to Darmstadt. However, there is an individual that I believe may be interested in running under our label. I've stalled out that conversation because they decided last minute to throw their hat in the ring for school board here in Evansville-Vandenberg County. So I am helping walk them through how campaigns work in general for their first one. But if that does not pan out, they are definitely running for the town board. And I think that about wraps up my report.
Mr. Solomon, the person running for school board, are they a party member?
No.
Okay. Otherwise, I was going to say we would put them on the website as a candidate for school board.
Just calls me at least every other week and asks me CFA questions and campaign finance related things and mechanics.
Okay.
But I've been helping them. I'm building goodwill.
Do you have a price for what it would cost for you to do the mailers for Jada?
I can get you one. Just give me 1 second.
Okay.
I know Mr. McDonald sent me. Let's see. Oh wait, no, it was in the group text. I hate group texts, just so we all are aware. So let's see.
Everybody group text Jay Solomon. I'll privately post his cell phone number to you all here in a minute.
I will block all of you and you'll never get anything from me again. About $4,000.
Please include that in her ask for the candidate spotlight.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions for Mr. Solomon? Okay, hearing none, moving on to District 9, Mr. Hirsch.
Okay, I am currently at the Harvest Homecoming booth. We've been here the last 3 days. Been here all day Thursday, Friday, and here all day Saturday. Tanya Millis for Congress, she came down last night, met a lot of the voters. She'll be back again tomorrow. James Seniak and Jeff Maher will be down tomorrow as well to meet the voters. We've been getting a lot of great response here. And Jennifer's done a great job at setting all this up here. And one thing we're going to do is Jennifer's going to organize a watch party for the Seniak debate next Sunday. She's organizing that now, and also getting the venue set up for we can have monthly meetups here in Floyd County. In Clark County, we're going to switch our meetups up to the second Thursday at Brewster's in Clarksville. We were doing it on Sundays. That just is not working out. We're going to stop that. At Washington County, Tommy Brown's getting a lot of good coverage, media coverage for his campaign for council up there. Tanya's going to have another round of door knocking going on here in the next few weeks. Then Darren Kinser's the same thing with him. He's running for sheriff in Lawrence County. And that's the main things going on. Also, the main news I want to announce is Josh Turner, who's a sitting New Albany Republican County councilman, recently switched affiliation to the Libertarian Party. And he's been helping out here at this booth as well. So welcome him aboard. He's really excited. He wants to really grow the party. In fact, he already has plans for next year at this event. Next year, he wants to get 2 booth spaces, which he will fundraise for. So he's going to get a lot of new members coming in. He's trying to talk a lot of his friends and cohorts to switch to the Libertarian Party along with him. So hopefully that'll work out. I think it's one of the greatest things. It's kind of similar to how Ed Coleman switched years ago. Hopefully this will work out a lot better than that. And I think Josh Turner is a much more solid Libertarian myself.
I would second that, Mr. Hirsch, that I am actually happy about Mr. Turner's switch, where I was not happy about the previous one. I'm really excited about Mr. Turner. We've already been talking about his reelection campaign for the next cycle. Really excited about that. He's really enthused and really going out and talking to people already. He's already done some stuff with Jeff and I believe James as well. So he's great. I would encourage everybody to get to know him as another sitting a libertarian. Any questions for Mr. Hirsch?
And also September 15th, Jennifer Thompson from Floyd County, she hosted a small business summit. Tanya Mills and James Seniak came down for that, and that worked out really well, promoting our small business initiative at that time.
Correction, Mr. Hirsch, that was sponsored by the Libertarian Party of Indiana and helped organized by the Libertarian Party of Floyd County.
I stand corrected.
Any other questions or anything else, Mr. Hirsch?
I had a question for Mr. Hirsch.
Go ahead, Mr. Solomon.
So Mr. Turner, you said that's New Albany?
New Albany, Indiana, yes.
Are there elections next year with all the other municipals?
Yes.
Okay, and does Mr. Turner hold a districted seat or is it an at-large position?
He's going to run as at-large.
He's going to run for re-election as at-large.
Is he currently a districted?
Yes, District 5.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Hirsch? Okay, hearing none. Before we move on to our break, I would just like to take a moment to say, and it was Miss Avery, you mentioning the Mardi Gras event in Randolph County. Please remind your county chairs and your local candidates, if they have an event going on, to please, make a Facebook event for it and include the state party as a co-host so it shows up on our feed. A lot of people check it. You're going to have exposure to 30,000 Hoosiers by doing that. It's also one of the ways that I copy and paste information into our calendar is by seeing it on Facebook. So please make sure to do that. I will say this, we no longer have a button on our Facebook page as admins to see the events that we've been invited to co-host because we have to accept it. So if you do add us as a co-host, please send a message to either myself, Christy Avery, or Danny Lundy, letting us know that you did that. So please have them follow up with that so that we actually have to go to the event page and then approve the request. Because Facebook sucks and they're horrible people. So that's it. Do you guys want to take the 10-minute break or do you want to power through? All those in favor of taking the break, say aye.
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 All those who want to power through, say no.
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 Oh,
All right, no break. Unfinished business 2022 elections for 5 minutes.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Mr. Solomon.
if we're skipping the break, I just had a point of inquiry just for my own personal curiosity.
Go ahead, Mr.
With
Solomon.
with a new Albany city councilor, is that essentially the highest elected office that our party is currently holding?
No, we have a county commissioner.
We do?
I believe so. Don't we?
I thought that was the one that was an error because the county and town had the same name.
No, you're thinking of Tipton, and that's a city councilor. He's the councilor in Tipton. He's also the county chair. No, we technically have a county. It's either a county councilor or a county commissioner. The problem is, and we're not sure how he got nominated or got his paperwork through, but he's not a party member and has refused to communicate with us. But technically there is one. But other than that, we would have to check because there's also Liberty, but it might be. It's potential. Ed Coleman, when he switched parties, was also the highest ranking Libertarian office holder. At that point, I believe it was in the country.
Yes, that's correct.
He was an at-large, elected as a Republican for at-large.
For county?
Indianapolis.
Yeah, for Marion County.
The Marion, Indianapolis City County Council.
Was that prior to Jeff Hewitt?
Yes.
Okay.
This would have been in 2011.
Oh, okay. So we're going back a minute.
Yeah. But that's a good question. I'll ask Mr. Galt to research all of our elected and appointeds and see if Mr. Turner is now our highest sitting office holder. Be careful not to say the word elected because they were not elected as a Libertarian. So it's a sitting Libertarian office holder. Mr.
He was
Galt,
elected and he's a Libertarian. So if you just order the words right, you're saying something true.
he was elected as a Republican. So just got to make sure we parse that correctly. Mr. Galt, can you take that on and look at our current office holders and verify that?
Yep, I certainly think that's something that should be receiving a lot of publicity.
We sent out a press release and got 0 response last week. 0.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on to unfinished business. Mr. Galt, you have 5 minutes to talk about the 2022 elections. Please spread it out so it's not just about Tanya. Thank you.
Yeah. So, I mean, I already talked about Tanya, so wasn't planning on it, but also, and Kristen Alexander has been doing these postcards where I told you guys they're #1 in the door knocks. So at all the doors, when someone commits to vote for her, she has them hand fill out a postcard. The postcard states that in their own handwriting that they're going to vote for Kristen and if they're going to vote early or vote on election day. So she has been mailing those out. I think she has about 100 of them. So she's been mailing those out as reminders to voters for early voting because that starts on the 12th next week. And then she'll still have to mail out the ones for election day after that. James has been really busy. You guys have probably seen him in your districts and your counties. He's been going to everything. I mean, him and Tanya, I've seen their schedules and their calendars, and they have something every day up until the election, both of them. So they're working really hard. They can use any support that you guys can give them. Jeff, I talked about Jeff. His last event was the Martinsville thing. And then I think I saw him at with Liz and Kosciuszko maybe at an event there the other day. So and then there's a lot of candidates. We have 30 plus now on the website. So If somebody's still not listed, let me know. But I think I've gotten around to most of the county chairs and gotten most of our candidates up there. I know there's still some here and there that are missing, but so if you have a connection with them so I can get them the form to fill out and get them up there before the election, please let me know.
I will say, in addition to this, Mr. Williams, I would like to note that the two candidates from Marion County, I have had multiple requests from the media for them to respond, and they have gone unanswered, even from me.
Yeah, I've made a note to let Gavin and Edgar know, like you said, to update their information. I haven't seen them recently, so I'm going to contact
I
them.
gave the reporters their email addresses and phone numbers, and I included them in the email, letting them know that I had given the reporters their email addresses and phone numbers, and I was informed by all three of the different news outlets that they received nothing from them and would be saying that in their stories.
I have been in contact with Edgar, so I can reach out to him personally, but Gavin Maple, as I've not gotten any response from him the entire cycle. He's the only candidate on our website without a picture even. So, I've still not been able to even get a photo from him. So
I received from members, including a recent member, that they will not be voting for that particular candidate because they have no website, they have no Facebook page, they have no contact information, and they don't know what they believe in other than they're a libertarian and they won't just blindly vote. And I said, I understand completely.
Oh, that's fair.
I'm in the same boat because I live here and they're both my candidates.
Yeah, I'll keep on them and see if I can stir something up.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions about the 2022 elections? Remember, if your county party needs help organizing something for helping the candidates, please let us know. If candidates need any small donations, please let us know. Make sure they're doing the candidate spotlight. Also, I just want to throw in here on Mr. Galt's time on this issue. I am creating watcher cards that will have the county chair's name listed for your county. I will be sending a PDF that has multiple on one sheet. They will be front and back. Please print them on a yellow cardstock. The poll watcher must be a resident and a voter, registered voter within the county. I'm also going to be sending out a thing to each county chair and vice chair with a sheet explaining the role of the watcher, what you're allowed to do, what you're not allowed to do, and have them, I would recommend having them sign it that they have been trained by the party. But so I don't want to go in too much detail about it. There's an email that's going to go out Monday about that, as well as there'll be a link for people to go and download their design from our Dropbox. Miss Avery was first, then Michael, then Mr. Nolan. Miss Avery.
Is this a good time to ask about the phone banking that we discussed at the last meeting?
It is still in process. We're trying to get it set up. But if you do have people who want to volunteer or candidates that are wanting to be included in the phone bank, please let me know now, as in send me an email. Do include Mr. Rigg at field@lpin.org on that email as well. Mr. Schultheis.
In the last election cycle, the Hamilton County Clerk did not have a process for appointing poll watchers. It was something that the county chair was able to do.
It's
So I'm
actually
sure if
not
that's-
done by the county clerk and hasn't for years. It has to be done by either the county chair or the state chair.
Okay.
So I'm creating all 92 counties. The counties that have an affiliate will list the county chair. The counties that do not have an affiliate will list me. But they'll have to come to me to get it. We're not putting them out there. And I'm going to be working with the campaigns on that because the campaigns are the ones that are going to have to ask for those counties that we don't have an affiliate in. Mr. Nolan.
Can you send that message to the district reps also?
Yes, you guys. just as an FYI, sometimes when I send these emails out, I will forward you guys my test email that comes to me. I'll forward that to the SCC just to save myself some time, not having to go through and create a new email with the same information to go to the SCC. Any other questions? Ms. Salgado, if you could recognize in the minutes that Deputy Political Director, Mr. Paul Copeland, is here, and he has a giant More for Indiana sign behind him. So if you can note that he's here in attendance, albeit very late. Membership report, I'm going to skip over that because I already gave the membership numbers. The only addition to that I didn't include is that our national membership has basically stayed exactly the same. I think it may be down 2 members, but we are still in 9th place. Again, please push people to the Tripper Member program so that we can make sure that we are in the top 5 for the 2024 convention. The deadline for that is October 31st of 2023. But it's a good habit to get people into it now. Okay. Any questions about membership? Okay, cool. Hearing none. Legal updates. I have 0 legal updates, but I did not zero the thing out. I should have done that, but I didn't. Sorry about that. Convention business. Does anybody have any questions about the legal fund, since I didn't zero the timeout on it? Or the not legal fund, the legal updates. Okay, hearing none. The 2023 convention, 5 minutes. The vice chair is not here. She was here and then she left because she had really, really bad reception. I've sent her a list of things for them to decide, approve, update us on. And I hope that gets done soon. That's all I can say about that.
Could you forward the rest of the committee that list also?
I will give our vice chair another week to do that on her own, because I did just send that to her a couple of days ago. So I will follow the chain of command as I normally would expect everybody else to do, and I will give her another week to do it. And then if for some reason it is not done, then I will send it to the entire convention committee. Is that fair, Mr. Nolan?
I guess.
Okay. I didn't care anyway.
I know.
Moving on to new business, are there any other events other than the ones that we have already mentioned? I will remind you that our next meeting is in person at the Antelope Club, as well as the December meeting is a later meeting, also in person at the Antelope Club, because remember, we have our holiday party immediately after the conclusion of our SCC meeting. I am hoping that I can get the ticketing up for the holiday party, because we are going to charge the $5 entry just to make sure people attend this year. It will be the same as we did last year, the White Elephant. That went really well. I think people really enjoyed the White Elephant prize switcheroo thing. I got a mug. It's not in here, but I got a mug last year that basically says, "I'm not arguing with you. I'm just explaining how I'm right," which was great. Any other events that have not been previously mentioned? Okay, hearing none, please just make sure that you are adding events to our calendar on the LPIN webpage, and that you are working to make sure that the LPIN gets added as a co-host to any events of your candidates or county party on Facebook. So moving on, election night event. I've been talking to Stephanie over at Jeff's campaign. We would like to have a large or large-ish election night event, because if something historical does happen, we really don't want to be holding our event in the dining room of the Antelope Club. We love the Antelope Club, but we'd like to have something just a little classier. My suggestion and talking with Stephanie, this does need to be a state party event since it will have multiple candidates of varying levels on it. My suggestion was us to repeat what we did for Rainwater in 2020. I thought that was a really good event. I thought it was nicely executed. It was like I said, it was really good. The cost of that was around $4,000. The Mauer campaign is willing to pitch in $1,000 potentially. I don't trust campaigns. They're likely to spend all that money before the end of the campaign. So I would entertain a motion for the state party to host and organize an election night event authorizing up to $4,000 to be spent by the state party.
So moved.
Thank you, Mr. Hirsch. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Schultheis. Any discussion?
I
Anybody
feel like there should be a roll call vote.
It has to be because it's over $1,000. Is there any other discussion? Now, I will say, discussion on my part. There are going to be, I'm sure Kosciuszko is going to, in District 2 is probably going to stay up there. Lawrence in District 9 is probably going to stay there because they have a lot of local candidates. But my understanding is that James would be attending, or James's campaign would be attending. And there are other candidates that would be attending, thus making it a necessity for the state party to officially be the host and payee of the event. Is there any other questions, comments, discussion?
What was the total dollar amount again? Sorry.
4,000, up to 4,000.
Point of personal privilege, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Schultz.
Could we respectfully ask Mr. Nolan to mute himself while he's chewing?
Sorry.
Is this your first time attending a SCC meeting, Mr. Schultz? At least this time he's not wearing a bathrobe. So, Madam Secretary, I believe a roll call is in order since this is over $1,000.
Before Clayton jumped in, I had a comment.
Oh, go ahead, Mr. Nolan.
It seems like a lot of money for a party.
It is a lot of money for a party. However, I'd like for us to do something big in the event our Secretary of State candidate makes history. And in the event our U.S. Senate candidate makes history. Because right now, Mr. Siniak is polling at 6%. In two separate polls, he polled at 6%. If he gets 6%, that's the highest that a Libertarian candidate in a three-way race has gotten nationally for U.S. Senate. So
I don't think that's true, sir.
6%, over 6%?
Didn't Gary Johnson receive 15% in 2018 in a three-way?
I don't think so.
I believe that is the case.
I do not believe so.
I will research more.
Go ahead and look that up and correct me at the next meeting if I'm wrong. Mr. Rigg.
Yeah, I have a question. When there was the party for the Rainwater campaign, there was ultimately like an end time. If I remember correctly, we had to leave earlier than usual. Will there be such a time constraint for the election night party?
I think it was like 11 o'clock or midnight.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, I would anticipate whatever it was last time would probably be what it is this time.
Okay.
Mr. Chair.
Hold on, Mr. Solomon, Mr. Lomax.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering where the $4,000 number came from, and what exactly, if there are any preliminary plans, what those are.
So the $4,000 was what they spent in 2020. That included the venue, the food, and the entertainment, I believe, and which was necessary for the audio that was there. But that was what it cost last time. And for Don Rainwater's event, It didn't include we had access to the facility, I think, starting at like 4 o'clock so that we could set up the war room that was separate from the event. But that's what it cost last time. If we were to do it in Marion County, it would cost for the same size venue, probably twice that. Mr. Galt.
Don't we expect prices to have risen since 2020?
Which is the $1,000 extra from the Moore campaign.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
Just to follow up, Mr. Chair.
Mr. Shulman, go ahead.
Johnson received 15.4% in 2018.
I don't believe it. I reject that.
I will send you the link.
No, please don't. I just reject it. I won't read it. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Madam Secretary, if you want to call the roll.
Yeah, can you just I want to make sure I have the wording of the motion correct with the dollar amounts, et cetera. So could you repeat it exactly?
Authorization for the state party to host the 2022 election night party, authorizing the expenditure of up to $4,000 for said event.
Okay. Okay, so we will start. Do you want me to skip you?
You have your hand up.
If the Mauer campaign is donating 1,000, is the total 5,000, or is that the party would spend 3,000?
No, it would be 5,000, up to 5,000, but the party would be spending 4.
Okay.
So do I need to include the Mauer piece in? Okay.
Because we can't encumber them like that.
Well, I'm just double checking because I know a contract will have to be signed, so.
Yep.
I didn't know if that followed in line with the requirements.
If they give us that money and it's earmarked for the event, then we have to spend it on that event. But we can't require it from them within our motion.
Well, I didn't know if it was a dependent motion, like if they, give the $1,000 for that event, then.
You're going to give the $1,000 if we need it.
If we need it, okay.
If we need it.
All right.
And I'm sorry, where is this event?
It's 502. That's the name of the place. It's 502, I think. And it is in Hamilton County.
It's at 116th and Keystone, roughly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, just north of there, sorry. 126th Keystone. Okay. Jimmy, skip you.
Yes.
Okay. Vice Chair Lucy.
Absent.
She's gone again. Okay. Come back to me if that's okay. I haven't thought about it. Treasurer Michael.
Hi.
Communications Director absent. Tech Director absent. Field Director Morgan.
Yes.
Political Director Chris.
Yes.
District 1 John.
Yes.
District 2 Liz.
Yes.
District 3 Christy.
Yes.
District 4 Dennis.
Yes.
District 5 Greg Nolan.
No.
District 6 Luke.
Yes.
District 7 Kent.
Yes.
District 8, Jay.
I will abstain.
District 9, Greg.
Yes.
I'll vote yes. Evan,
Yes.
and yeah, Lucy's still gone, right? Okay. I have 12 yeses, 1 no, 1 abstention, 3 absent.
All right, motion passes. All right, next up is branded tents. So I was discussing the situation with another friend of mine, and it's not looking good, and I've requested a refund from the company. So we're going to get it was $372 back for the print that was to go on to the tents for us, or that we would be putting on the tents, the new print, since the other ones were peeling pretty badly. With that, I got a recommendation and found a place that can actually get us branded tents, all 9 of them, for just at $4,000 and within a week. With that, the friend of mine has agreed, who has no affiliation with that organization whatsoever. He doesn't work for them or anything like that, is going to donate $2,000 towards it. So he's going to pay half. So the request is, can I get through it first?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So the request is to authorize up to $4,000 to get the branded tents produced and delivered. Mr. Solomon, your point of information.
Is this $4,000 for simply canopies or for an entire tent structure?
Because
I have a tent that I received from the LPIN that has no top.
Right. This is the entire structure, including the branded canopies. I don't know why you didn't get yours. Oh, I do know, because when I was delivering it down to the 8th district, it got left behind. But what we found is that the printing, the vinyl on the other tents is peeling. And then Mr. Noland actually pointed out that you can't actually see the top where the design and the logo was at. So designing something different, but it would actually only cost us $2,000 because a donor is going to pitch in to pay the other 2. And
So
we can
is
get
that-
them within a week.
So that extra canopy, is that still available for me to get so
Yeah,
I can have 3 tents
sure.
down here?
Sure, absolutely. Yep. Any questions?
Yeah.
Miss Haver was first.
So then we'll basically just have 2 tents for each district until the first one completely dies, right?
Correct. Mr. Galt.
Just like to say, I've done a lot of research on these vinyl tents because in Morgan County was a little bit ahead and was trying to get one themselves. And this is a really, really good deal, especially since it'll get everybody one. And I did, Evan knows I did have concerns about the vinyl we were doing from the beginning because I was worried that ours would peel if we did it the same way. So I think that this is a great idea and we need this, and it's a really good deal.
Yeah, comparably, they cost a minimum of $900 individually. So
yeah,
do the
we
math
couldn't
on that.
find one. We couldn't find one under 1,000 when we just wanted one for Morgan County.
Yeah.
That was customized.
I think Mr. Solomon was next, and then Miss Avery. Mr.
Do
Solomon.
we know what the wind MPH resistance is on these?
No, they're rated for fall and summer. I do remember reading that.
Okay.
Ms. Avery.
I was just curious how everyone else's is holding up because mine seems to have some structural issues. And I mean, it did come with a piece that was broken and we're dealing with that. But when I got it back from Grant County, there was something that was a little odd. So I don't know how long they're going to last. I just wondered how everybody else's is holding up, and hopefully
A lot of them
apps
came.
are at least equal.
A lot of them came damaged. That was unknown until after we'd already gotten them out to people. Like the one for the 8th district was damaged. I think yours was damaged, and I still have one that's I can tell it's broken. I think that was it. Is that all the questions? Okay, I would make the motion, the authorization to spend up to $4,000 on branded tents with the condition that $2,000 be received from the donor.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Lomax. I did not catch the second.
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Hirsch. Let me know, Alyssa, when you're ready for a roll call.
Almost ready. I'm just typing in the motion right now. All right, I'm ready whenever you guys are.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want me to skip you again?
Yes.
And our vice chair, Lucy, is still off the call. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, I say yes. Treasurer Michael Schultes,
Aye.
Communications Directors Michelle still absent, Tech Director still absent, Field Director Morgan Rigg,
Yes.
Political Director Chris Galt,
Yes, yes, yes.
District 1 John Schick,
Yes.
District 2 Liz,
Yes.
District 3 Christy,
Yes.
District 4 Dennis,
Yes.
District 5 Greg Nolan,
Abstain.
District 6 Luke,
He affirmed by a text. He says he's unable to mute his phone.
okay. District 7 Kent,
Yes.
District 8 Jay,
Aye.
District 9 Greg Hirsch,
Yes.
Chair Evan,
Yes.
$13 yes, 1 abstain, 3 absent.
Okay, the motion passes. Next one up is we received a written request to the chair from the Mauer campaign for $1,000 contribution to go into printed materials, I believe. So I would accept that. I think I'll make that motion since it was a request made to the chair in writing by the campaign. No.
You have
Yeah.
to step down as chair in order
Yeah.
to make a motion.
Yeah. So I would accept that motion.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, that's been made by Mr. Nolan. Is there a second?
I will second.
Seconded by Mr. Hirsch. Any discussion? Do you guys want to do a roll call for the 1,000? Is there any objection to doing a voice vote? Okay, let's do a voice vote. All those in favor, and the motion again is contributing $1,000 to our Secretary of State campaign. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no. Okay, motion carries. I will recognize Mr. Hirsch for 5 minutes on a request from the Tanya Millis for Congress campaign. Mr. Hirsch.
Yes, Tanya Millis, the campaign, they're going to do another round of door knocking. She had requested $150 from the state to get more rack cars. Well, Chris Galt has informed me that he's already raised that $150, but they now have a new request that they want to put yard signs at every single polling place all across the district for election day, and they were requesting $800 for that purpose. So that is her request for $800 from the state to fund yard signs to put at all the polling places.
You make that in the form of a motion, did you, sir?
I make a motion to fund the Tanya Mills campaign $800 for more yard signs.
I will second it.
The motion has been moved by Mr. Hirsch and seconded by Mr. Nolan to give Tanya Millis for Congress $800. I'm just going to throw this out here. Every candidate that's requested money from us has been given $1,000. I believe that a friendly amendment to increase it for Tanya would be in order.
I move to amend that motion to include funds for up to $1,000 for yard signs for the Tanya Millis campaign.
Thank you, Mr. Lomax. The motion to amend was made by Mr. Lomax, seconded by Mr. Rigg. All those in favor of amending the motion from 800 to 1,000, say aye.
Point of order,
Aye.
Mr. Chair.
Aye.
Solomon, hold on. Mr. Solomon.
Can we debate or discuss this amendment?
Yes, we can. Mr. Solomon.
Since Mr. Galt is present, what are Tanya's fundraising numbers looking like currently?
Mr. Galt.
As far as money raised or money in the bank?
Both.
There is no more money in the bank. That's why we're making the request. As far as fundraising, since I've joined the campaign, we raised over $2,000 at our birthday celebration. And we have raised about $1,000 from other donors in the last, I've been a part of the campaign for 3 months, maybe. So.
Understood. Thank you, sir.
Yep. Most of the funds went to her billboards. She has 4 billboards across her district for October, or for September and October.
Is there any other discussion on the amendment to the motion? Okay, hearing none, we'll move to a voice vote on the amendment. This is to amend from $800 to 1,000. All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Okay, hearing none, the motion is amended to authorize $1,000 to the Tanya Millis for Congress campaign. Is there any discussion on the main motion? Okay, hearing no discussion on the main motion. Since this is, no, we can do it by voice vote. Is there any objection to a voice vote? Hearing no objection, all those in favor of the motion say aye.
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 All those opposed say no.
I abstain.
You don't have to abstain from a voice vote. You just shut your mouth.
Okay, I shut my mouth.
The motion carries. Mr. Schultheis, if you can ACH money to the Tanya Millis campaign, $1,000. You can also ACH the $1,000 to Mr. Moore's campaign. That would be appreciated. Mr. Galt, you should get with Mr. Schulteis to make sure that they have, that he has the ACH information for Tanya's account. Mr. Schulteis, if you can get with Mr. Schulteis to make sure that he has the ACH information for Jeff's campaign.
Are there any other disbursements we need to be made?
Via ACH? No.
ACH, you're handling any other disbursements?
Other than
Okay.
the triple members, but we're going to deal with that Tuesday, me and you.
Okay.
Let's see. Next thing on the agenda was World's Smallest Political Quiz.
Point of information, Mr. Chair, on that last
Mr.
item.
Solomon, go ahead.
If I just want to make sure my count is correct, we appropriated or we line items 10,000 for candidate support and we've used 5. Is that accurate?
There's been a lot more than that because we've also spent money to host events.
And that's come out of that fund?
Technically, it came out of my discretionary fund because there were things that had to happen immediately. But it went towards the support of candidates. So I would kind of sideline it as being from that.
So how much do we have left earmarked for that 10,000?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I'll get back to you on that.
Thank you.
If you're wanting to make a request for other candidates, I would say if they're a candidate that's already received it, I would not do that. But if there are candidates that have not made requests that could use the funds, please make those requests timely in writing, preferably from the campaign to the chair, and then I will send it out as an email ballot. Does that make sense, Mr. Solomon?
Yes, sir. I didn't have any plans at this time. I just would like to know how much is left before asking that question.
I would just say, don't worry about what's left in that fund. Ask. The point of this organization is to support candidates for office. So even if we go over the $10,000, I'm okay with that. If it's going to a good cause and a good purpose, if it's just because they want $1,000, no. But if they have a direct ask, I think that's the purpose of us being here more than anything else. So, World's Smallest Political Quiz. Mr. Noland agreed with me. He gave me a thumbs up. Wow. Write that down. That is a miracle. Let's see. World's Smallest Political Quiz. The other day, I got a frantic phone call from Mr. Lundy, the chair of the Morgan County Party, asking me if I was home. And I said, yes. And he said, can I get some World's Smallest Political Quizzes? I need 2 bundles. And I said, sure. And like 15 minutes later, he was at my door. Morgan County is more than 15 minutes from my house. So he was already on his way to my house when he messaged me to ask. Then he shows up and says, hey, can I get 3 more? So we are actually out of World's Smallest Political Quizzes now. He took the last bundles. So my request we had 100 bundles is what we originally ordered. I would like to reorder another 100 bundles, which would be $480. And I've already been told that basically most people are out of them. So I'm trying to get them as quickly as possible. And if you have,
I'm not out.
if you have a stash, you might offer them to some of the events that have to the counties that have big events coming up, like Mr. Lomax. See, he stole a bundle. So I would accept that motion if it was given.
So moved.
I'm going to take that motion from Mr. Lomax. Is there a second?
Second.
I'm sorry, who made that motion?
It was Mr. Lomax, and it was seconded by Mr. Schick. Any discussion? Miss Avery.
Originally, we were going to have county parties buy these things from the state party? Are we still going to do that?
Probably not until after the first of the year, for two reasons. One, we don't have the store set up on the website. And two, I have not had that helper in my dining room to come and do that. And so I don't want county parties that order something like that to not get it in a timely fashion. So I want to hold off on that until we get a system designed to make sure that they get them expediently. Any other question? Since this is under 500, I think we can just do a voice vote. Is there an objection to a voice vote? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say no.
Nay.
Okay, the motion passes. So we'll be purchasing some more World's Smallest Political Quizzes.
What was the dollar amount on that again? Sorry.
480. Okay, I believe that was it for old business. I believe so. Are there any announcements?
Mr. Chair,
Mr. Schultz.
I posted it in the chat, but in case anybody didn't see, Grant County doesn't have any more events before the election, and we have several cards left. So if you need some, preferably if you're in the northern half of the state, let me know, and we can try to transfer some. But I have the majority of a stack left, I think.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. And that is Grant County that he's in, so kind of plan accordingly. I don't know if you said Grant County. Mr. Rigg.
Yes, I just have one announcement. DeKalb County, we're going to be getting a table for a gun show in Auburn, the Auburn 400. It'll be on the weekend of. It'll be from the 28th to the 30th of this month, and I will certainly be asking around for anyone who could help out with manning the table for a couple hours. Anybody listening is more than welcome to help out. I would appreciate it. Let me know. You can message me via Facebook or text or email, however you want to do it, but just let me know. Thanks.
I have an announcement because I don't think Liz mentioned it. I don't remember her mentioning it, but on October 22nd, the St. Joseph County will be holding its organizing convention under Mr. Tim Cotton. I always want to call him Tom Cotton. Mr. Tim Cotton will be holding that event, and it looks like they're going to have some good turnout for it. So we're looking forward to that organizing convention. Are there any other announcements? Mr. Copeland.
Okay, so I've just gotten back from 3 weeks where I had 3 separate events for the LPIN in Jefferson, Ripley, and Dearborn County. I do have a couple of contacts that I made in the counties that I need to forward on to the chair and get those emails enrolled in the system, and a couple of other political groups that are dissatisfied with the Republicans down there that may be good contacts for us to have in the future. So I thank you all for your support in helping me get out there and tread new ground.
Mr. Copeland, I would like to say to you that technically I have a schedule of, let me look here, because I can't remember. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. meeting with the political director. Yes, Chris Galt, I actually want to do that and start doing it again this week if you're available at 6 p.m. Can you participate in that?
I will make time to participate in that.
Okay, thank you. I will send you the event invite for it. Are there any other announcements? Okay, hearing none, I would accept a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Rigg. Is there a second?
Seconded.
Second by Mr. Lomax. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say no. Excellent. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody, for your work with the party and being here today. Hold on
Thank
one
you.
second.